It can be small, it can be big. It can be quiet or loud. You use it several times a day, and it most frequently has your attention. You most likely have some form of it with you right now. I'm talking about your cell phone, laptop, iPad, or any technology device. Data journalist Felix Richards' statistics show that the average teen spends roughly 10.5 hours a day on electronic devices. Spending all this time on technology can cause many problems, such as isolation. Today I'm going to attempt to persuade you on how the growing innovation of technology is isolating and separating people from the real world. As Jim Taylor, who has a PhD of psychology on Psychology Today, said, "I see life as connecting with the world directly, rather than through a conduit of a computer and communication technology. Life is moving something other than your fingers and experiencing the world with all of my senses, not just with my eyes and ears. It is also about connecting with others in a substantial way. Life is about caring deeply about things that directly impact my world. What makes life life for me is its inherent imperfection and intermittent chaos and uncertainty. Its occasional blood, sweat, and tears. Can we find that in this kind of technology?" said Jim Taylor. Social isolation. People are so dependent on technology that they expect everything to be delivered to them at the push of a button. Grubhub and Amazon are two things that have made this possible, and also technology. By having these items delivered to us, what's the point of getting out of the house? This creates a form of social isolation. And also social media and gaming. Social media is ways of staying connected without actual physical interaction, something that most people need. Also video games. Video games keep kids and young adults inside and have their attention and entertain them rather than having them outside doing something. This destroys brain cells and increases violence and decreases social activity. These games such as Fortnite, Apex, and Minecraft, and also social medias such as Snapchat, Instagram, Vine, and Twitter. Studies show that social media, as you may think is connecting us, meanwhile is actually making people feel lonelier. Reports suggest that people who spend over 2 hours a day on social media, that their chances of feeling socially isolated are twice as high. I got this from independent.co.uk. Lack of physical activity. First, there's physical health. Physical health, with the advantage of everything being at the tips of your fingers, also comes the disadvantages of physical health problems. Physical inactivity has its prices to pay. It is linked to the development of chronic health problems like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and also cancer. This is all due to the lack of physical activity. If we just sit at home and let everything be delivered to us and isolate ourselves from outside, it can have a serious consequence on our health and life. It also affects our vision if you stare at the screen for too long, and our sleep habits. If you are carelessly on your phone before you go to sleep and you pay too much attention to it, it can affect your sleep and the amount of sleep you get. And also mental health. Due to isolation from technology, it disconnects people from the world. When this happens, it can cause illnesses such as depression, anxiety, and other social illnesses. A main one is suicide. Kids that lack social skills are isolated, so they have no real friends or actual interaction with people. Their brain starts to stimulate to make them think that they want to harm themselves, and they start to think about suicide. Another illness is also SAD, or known as social anxiety disorder. It is a chronic mental health condition in which social interactions can irrationally cause irrational anxiety. There are more than 200,000 cases in the U.S. per year, says source Mayo Clinic. People with this condition may experience fear and depression. Also common are anxiety, palpitations, and social isolation and sweating. The Mental Health Foundation has has said finding new technology to have an isolating effect on young people's lives. Furthermore, the teenagers who engage with social media during the night could be damaging their sleep and increasing risk of depression and anxiety. Your attention. Our awareness on what is going on around us dwindles more and more every day. I believe we can all say that at least once we have been on our phones and had our face in our phones just walking along and accidentally tripped over something or ran into something. Technology completely has our attention and not in a positive way. It is too often that we walk in a room where everyone is on their phones and computers, avoiding actual verbal contact. Instead the use of their phones use their phones as personal conversation avoiders. But doing this only causes harm. Lack of attention, social skills, and working their way towards social isolation due to technology. Based on the argument I have presented, I have come to prove that this phone and this laptop are the cause of why the innovation of technology is isolating